At least 79 people have lost their lives in the northeastern Indian state of Assam, and the number is likely to rise as heavy monsoons are expected to hit this week. Up to 3 million people are affected, and flooding has led to the deaths of at least 9 rare one-horned rhino in the Kaziranga National Park there. Well, let's go live to Delhi to talk to the actor Adil Hussain, who played in movies such as Life of Pi and The Reluctant Fundamentalist. He himself comes from Assam. Thanks for being on the programme. It's good to talk to you. Tell us more detail about what is happening in Assam and your concern about the lack of help for those who are dealing with this flooding.
Good morning, Sally. I'm very happy to be here. I was born in Assam, and I remember writing an essay. I mean, every year in the school exams, we had to write essays on flood. I mean, this had been a recurring event since time immemorial. I mean, since the time that I was born, and till today it is happening. This situation is that the riverbed, since 1950s, there was a big earthquake. The riverbed of River Brahmaputra has risen to at least 1.5 meters. The tributary rivers which come from different parts of the northeast, flowing from Himalayas and other mountain ranges, around 20 major ones, deforestation has given birth to erosion. And so the erosion, the silt which comes, and the riverbed has risen on all the 20 tributary rivers, and therefore the water which falls, the rainwater, is not being able to be absorbed by the lands which are adjacent to the river Brahmaputra, and it flows very quickly into the river Brahmaputra, and the river rises pretty soon, pretty quickly. And so the people do not get time to get out of the way of the river, which they know when it happens, but still it has become more unpredictable. There used to be a big flood every 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Now it's every other year. So we are completely helpless. And also that what you have mentioned, that a lot of animals have died, the Kaziranga National Park. And the funny thing is that the national park and the highland where animals would go and take shelter during the flood, there is this national highway which runs between this highland and the national park. And we have been demanding that that particular section of 40 kilometers should be elevated so that the animal corridor is, they're free to go towards the highland from the Kaziranga National Park side.
You and others have been campaigning about this for some time. As you say, this is becoming a more frequent event now. 79 people losing their lives this time.
Yes.
What's the response been from the authorities?
Well, it had been always, there is a history of central government's neglect towards the northeast. It had been there since my childhood. I have seen it. And most probably because the population is very little, and the member of parliament, the seats of, representing that part of the world, northeast, the 8 states, to the central government is only 24 in the lower house and 14 in upper house. So we don't have much, our voices are very small. But fortunately, since last 10, 15 years, there had been a look east policy because of the insurgency which happened, and a lot of student movements which happened since 1979. So we are getting a little bit more, attention now. But the Indian mainstream media had been quite reluctantly reporting on this, except for very few channels. So it is, unless there is an uproar in the media, there's an uproar in the civil society in the entire country, I don't think that the authorities are bothered about the flood, which happens every year. It becomes like a routine thing. Oh, there's a flood in Assam, few people will die, few animals will die, and that's that. And it goes on and on and on.
OK, well, thank you for talking to us today. It's really good to hear your perspective on what's happening there in Assam. Adil Hussain joining us live from Delhi.